Good evening. I'm here to present my research article analysis, and the article that I chose out of the reference list was Predicting High School Students' Achievement, Contributions of Classroom Perceptions, and Motivation. This article was a study that tested the hypothesis that there was a correlation between students' performance and their achievement based on classroom structures that have to do with self-efficacy, perceptions of instrumentality of classwork, and achievement goals. And the study found that there was data that supported the model demonstrating that student perceptions of classroom structures are important for their motivation. And it also supported the importance of perceiving current classwork as being instrumental for success. I found this encouraging that there is data actually out there supporting the fact that it's important to get to know our students and find out what motivates them and how they're feeling about their success, and empowering them to take ownership in their learning. So a little bit of background into some of the specifics of the study. They looked specifically at these three motivational factors. So self-efficacy, so belief in ourselves and our ability to succeed at a task. They also address the achievement goal theory that predicts the purpose students have for engaging in achievement tasks, influences their level of engagement, and then perceived instrumentality, the extent to which school tasks are perceived as instrumental to attaining personally valued future goals. So that's where getting to know your students can be very beneficial. So they found prior research that looked at some specific classroom structures that supported those motivational factors. And they were focused on the specific things listed here, and those are encouraging students to make choices and decisions regarding their learning, providing recognition in the form of rewards, incentives, and praise, using group activities that encourage working effectively with others on school tasks and developing a sense of belonging, conducting evaluations that assist progress, improvement, and mastery while avoiding those that are competitive or norm referenced, and then allowing time on tasks to vary with the nature of the task and students' needs. That seems like a lot. So an easy way to remember that is as the target model. So that focuses on tasks, autonomy, recognition, grouping, evaluation, and time. So studies found that students perceive a classroom goal structure as being either learning or performance goal oriented. So that's something that as teachers we can need to keep in mind. So the measures of classroom perceptions that they used in their study was motivating task, so the extent to which a student finds it to be meaningful and relevant to them, autonomy support, so whether or not students think that the teacher is going to support them by authoring choices and encouraging them to take control of their own learning and self-regulate that learning. And then mastery evaluation. So students find evaluation and recognition practices that are fair, they focus on learning, and de-emphasize social comparisons and competition. So again, this study was done through questionnaires given to 220 high school students in their English classes. So I pulled a couple of excerpts from the questionnaires. It was a rather extensive questionnaire, but just some ideas of things that were asked were questions like, in this class, the teacher emphasizes learning the material to gain understanding. In this class, the teacher wants us to take responsibility for our own learning. In this class, match what we learned in class. I'm sure I can do as well or better than other students in the class. I want others to think I'm smart. I like to get a better grade than other students. So these are the type of questions that were asked to the high school students. You can see a full list of the questions in the article that I will also be sure to link on the discussion board. So not surprisingly to us, the results indicated that the prior studies were true, that there was a definite correlation and that motivation did affect the outcome of student achievement. So since students' perception of instrumentality and learning tasks were very important, That means that teachers should describe their different learning activities to students in terms of how they're meaningful and relevant to students' interests, goals, and needs. That means teachers need to consider the different types of lesson introductions and encouragement that will be required to ensure that all students in a given setting develop a sense of instrumentality and adopt mastery goals. Additionally, students' confidence in their ability to be successful in class was very important for this sample of high school students, as it had been in other studies that were cited. And that suggests that teachers need to recognize the self-efficacy concerns that students have in regard to different learning activities. So that brings me to the question. Knowing this profound effect that it has on student achievement, that this article proves, how are we going to ensure as educators that we're describing our learning activities to students in terms that they find meaningful and relevant to their interest and their goals and their needs? So hopefully you'll have a chance to check this article out. This, again, was just a really brief summary. The research itself and the data is really interesting if you are a data person and like digging into that. But big picture goes back to these conclusions that we really need to make sure that our students understand in their own terms and something that they understand the activities that we're providing them. And they need to be meaningful and relevant to our students. I hope this has encouraged you, and I've had a wonderful semester learning with and from you all. Good night.